For the longest time, I've always thought Toho would never make a sequel or even consider a sequel to Shin Godzilla 2, knowing that they've officially confirmed its cancellation. But let's dive deep into the production, since Toho recently announced a Shin Godzilla sequel might actually be real. First of all, it has been 9 years since the first Shin Godzilla movie came out, and let's just say it's one of the greatest grounded Godzilla movies ever made, ranging from plot, visual effects, and cinematography. It took the world by storm. It was one of the more popular Toho Godzilla movies. This is because its creator, Hideaki Anno, was the director for the popular Japanese anime, Neon Genesis Evangelion. Norbook was published a few months after the movie's release, containing some scrapped ideas for Godzilla's transformations. Even though these are said scrapped ideas, I still think they will recycle these ideas if they ever made a sequel. I recommend to check out the book yourself, since there are a lot of cool sketches in there. Anyway, it's pretty evident a sequel was conceived due to the absolute cliffhanger of an ending that was, but as days turned to weeks, weeks turned to months, and months turned to years, there was nothing. No announcements, confirmations, nothing related about Shin Godzilla 2 was announced. Now, Anno has moved to other Shin projects such as Shin Ultraman or Shin Kamen Rider alongside the Evangelion movie. It is still unknown whether those movies are part of the Shin Godzilla continuity or not. However, in Shin Ultraman, one of the SSSP members do mention a frozen kaiju, which resembles how Shin Godzilla was defeated in the first film's ending. But this may just be referencing Pagos, one of the dead kaiju in the film's prologue. Now for the other Shin movies, I don't really know. Shin Kamen Rider I haven't watched, and the Evangelion 1+3 movie, I'm not allowed. But a few years back, there are these leaks of a so-called Shin Japan Heroes universe, reportedly announced to be a shared universe with Shin Godzilla, Ultraman, Kamen Rider, and Evangelion to be its main cast, quite like the MCU or DCU. I think it's an April Fool's prank of some sort, but I don't really remember. There's also this toy merchandise promoting the newly formed universe where the heroes fuse into one robot Megazord style. To this day, I just don't fucking understand what this merch, what? In the end, this universe came to be a disconnected set of films where each story seems to be set in different worlds from each other. As we know, in the end of Shin Ultraman, Libya did sacrifice himself so that Kaminaga would live, so I don't know how he could be included in any crossovers, except if they do a wannabe cool fusion like Ultraman Saga. Now that would be a different story. But let's dive through the newest info. Hideaki Anno and Shinji Higuchi, both people who worked on Shin Godzilla, joined the most recent Comic-Con. There, they only announced the new Shin Godzilla HD re-release had that one super sick chromatic version. But this simple HD re-release might spark something more. Signs of a newer movie in sight. Signs that a sequel will be in production right here and right now. But seriously though, the recent reports have gone widespread across the internet about the fact that a potential sequel for Shin Godzilla 2 is considered. I am so excited I can't even contain myself. But let's go through the old confirmed versions of the plot. Shin Godzilla 2 was a cancelled movie, though the plot was leaked into the public. Apparently a cult of Godzilla worshippers would come and unfreeze him, as a dystopian sci-fi movie ensues about Godzilla's tiny little men fighting against humans. And reportedly in the movie there will be Shin King Ghidorah. But the reasons it was cancelled was due to it being too mature and gory, also its complexity and overabundance of plot points held from any further production. But then it makes me wonder, will this confirmed sequel adapt this cancelled plot, or a new plot will be written? But as always, it will probably take ages to even release. As we know, Toho forbids 2 Japanese Godzilla movies be released in the same year, and Godzilla Minus One sequel is set to be released next year. With Supernova releasing in 2027, it only means Shin Godzilla 2 will release in 2028. But I'm pumped up as heck, wondering what kind of evolution Shin Godzilla will take on in the new movie. Anyway, that's my video. Thanks for watching till the end. Ben Miller out.